All right, everybody, last time I made a piece of furniture for my kid, and because I love everyone in my family the same amount, this time I'm making something for my wife. She just got a new job with a fancy new office, and she needs a coffee table, and honestly a new office chair as well, but we'll talk about that later. Can you even imagine having an office that needs a coffee table? Anyways, I've got a vague idea of what I'm gonna do, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, and we'll kind of figure out the details and see what she wants, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm gonna make you a coffee table for your office, your new office. What, do you have anything specific that you want it to have or look like?
The office itself is very large, and it's basically a blank slate right now, so it just needs to look nice, but otherwise, do whatever you want.
So it needs to look nice, and then do whatever I want.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'll run with that. Okay, well, you heard her. It needs to look nice, and I can do whatever I want. But come on, let's be real. I'm a nice guy, so what I want is to make my wife happy. The goal at this point was to really just kind of complement what she has going on in her office. There's a lot of rounded elements. It's also pretty minimal and clean. So I figured I would just really kind of lean into that, keep it minimal, keep it clean, but having it made out of wood will add some warmth and some character to the room. And I also want to make something that when people come in, they want to look at it, they want to touch it, they want to interact with it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, but I'm sure things will maybe shift and change a little bit as we move through the build. All right, so got all the parts cut and ready to make the inner form. This is kind of similar to the lifting desk I did a few months ago, if you saw that, kind of creating a skeleton. Also, side note, the veneer on this plywood is like paper thin. It looks horrible, but luckily all that stuff is gonna be inside, you're never gonna see it, so who cares? I'm gonna need a lot of clamps for this one. Good thing I have a lot of clamps. All right, so my idea for this interior skeleton portion is to have this part that I just glued up here. I guess to stick with the analogy, it would be the rib cage. And then on the bottom, I'm gonna have a ring so that I have access to inside the coffee table once it's all put together. And then on top, I'm gonna have a solid section that'll be the top of the coffee table. All right, so we have the skeleton done, and like last time, we are going to skin the skeleton. This time we're doing 2 layers of skin. First is 3/8 inch thick bendy ply, then we're gonna do veneer over that. So that's next, but this thing's looking sweet so far. Off to a good start, except for that. That looks like shit, but yeah, let's keep going. right, so the only tricky part with this is I have these kind of long strips of the bendable plywood and just getting it to line up around the entire inner structure. I have some wiggle room, so it's not too bad. And then I have to do it in a couple sections. So I gotta be pretty careful about getting the lengths right so it all matches up end to end. All right, so got that thing done. And so now I'm going to be adding the second layer of skin, which is the good looking layer, and that's all veneer maple that I got from Woodworker Source. Came to me in the mail, doesn't get much easier than that. Super nice stuff. It's over 8/4, so I should have plenty of thickness to get all the veneers I need, because I basically need to veneer all the way around this thing, which the circumference is like almost 150 inches, and then top as well. It's gonna be a few sections, but we'll get it done. I gotta say, I used to hate resawing lumber when all I had was this little bandsaw, but then I got myself this big bandsaw, and more importantly, a big old bandsaw blade, and now I love resawing. It's great. The big saw and the big blade just mean I can get a more accurate cut right off the saw, and that means less sanding time at the drum sander, which is very nice. But I sand these down to about a 32nd of an inch thick. So, I got my veneers here, got one put together, gonna do a couple more, and then we're good to go. Veneer is cut, trimmed, ready to go, which means it's time to attach it. And I am using contact cement once again. This part's pretty exciting. Hopefully we don't spontaneously combust. Vapor may ignite explosively, may contain explosive. Do not smoke. Gonna get the fan going. Got the door open, so fingers crossed I don't pass out and this all goes to plan. Let's do it. Oh. I messed up pretty good. The thing with contact cement is that as soon as they touch, it basically becomes a permanent adhesion. And so now, right about here, it has adhered and it's not in the right spot. I don't know what to do. All right, I actually got it removed, kind of slice it off, but minimal damage let's try this again. All right, I know this video is about a coffee table, but it's a coffee table for an office, and offices usually have desks. And when you're using a desk, you usually sit in an office chair. So today's video is sponsored by FlexiSpot, and more specifically, this C7 office chair. I've been using this chair for a few months now, and I really like it. And I never realized how important a chair could be until I started using a good one. It has all sorts of adjustability, so you can really dial in a comfortable fit, and it's big enough to accommodate people of all different shapes and sizes. You can also customize your chair with a few different options, like a foam or mesh seat, and I got the white one because I'm fancy like that. It also has this dynamic adaptive system that self-adjusts as you move around in the chair, which ensures that lower back is always getting the support it needs. I'm not gonna lie, I have fallen asleep in this chair a few times. FlexiSpot also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. So if you're someone that spends a decent amount of time in an office chair, go check this out and see if it might be right for you. And when you're ready to buy, use the code C730 for $30 off your purchase. I will put a link to all of that in the description. All right, thanks FlexiSpot. Back to the coffee table that's going in an office. I knew I was gonna have seams. I thought maybe there was a chance I could get them to be tight enough where you wouldn't see it, but I don't love the way this looks, so we're gonna do something about it. Much better. All right, well, I got my big sheet of veneer all put together, laid it on top of the big old cylinder here, and I'm short. We're good. So now I'm just gonna trim some of the excess off this, and then I'll be able to get it attached. And this should be pretty much it for the main part of the coffee table, and then we can start working on the other stuff. Got this big old thing done, mostly done. Why is it that the most simple looking stuff is kind of the most difficult, most time consuming? Anyways, we're gonna work on some more circles, doing the little glass stand part. That's just gonna be made out of solid red oak. So to quickly give you an idea of what we're doing here, my thought is to have the main section of the coffee table, the big cylinder that we just finished, And then on top of that, I want to have a glass part of the coffee table, another circle. And the way that's going to be attached is with this little glass stand, which is going to be two sections where the glass is kind of sandwiched between the two, and that's how it's held in place. So let's make that. You know, I've been having a lot of fun lately with my projects, using things like bendy ply and veneer and all this stuff. But there's something really satisfying about using and building with solid wood. So if making solid wood furniture is something that you've wanted to try or something that you want to get better at, I talk about this in every video, but go check out our furniture project courses. We really think they are the best courses online. And there's a bunch of different pieces to choose from, so go check them out if doing stuff like this is something that you're interested in or something that you want to get better at. I'll put a link in the description, and of course, thanks for checking it out. All right, so just saw me finish, looks like a cake. I'm basically gonna cut a big old rabbet around here. I'm cutting this rabbet on the outside edge of my big cake, but it was slow going and inaccurate, and just felt like I wasn't gonna get a good result. So I'm rigging it up to cut the majority of it on the table saw. I'm basically adding this industrial Lazy Susan, I suppose is what it would be considered. Apparently it can hold 1,000 pounds, but I have to cut a recess so this sits in it so you can't see it. So I'm gonna do it on the CNC machine, set it and forget it. Remember that guy? And why am I putting this Lazy Susan on the coffee table? Basically, I wanted the glass part to be able to rotate, because when stuff on furniture can move and is interactive, I think that's pretty cool. No other reason than that. But maybe no other reason needed. It's always a little nerve-wracking to drill into something that I've spent a lot of time on so far, but I had to drill through the top to attach the Lazy Susan thing, which again, this is all I'm just kind of winging it. I think it should work, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so I got this piece of acrylic. I considered doing real glass, but it was gonna be expensive, and getting someone to cut a hole in the middle of it was proving to be a little trickier than I thought. This felt easier, and I can cut the hole myself on my CNC machine. So I'm gonna do that now. Should be no problem. I'm gonna do a few test cuts first though, don't worry. Well, that actually worked incredibly well. So I cut a small circle just to test it. Now I'm gonna cut the big circle and we're gonna be done. Cool. looks like I skipped sanding. I didn't. I did sand this. I did. It's smooth as can be. I just don't feel like filming it and showing it in every video. We're just going straight to finish. Actually work. Feels like it's gonna work. I don't wanna jinx it. Knock on wood. Plenty of that around. All right, before we get to the full-on beauty shots, let's go ahead and see what the most important person has to say about it. Okay, I think she's here. Come on in.
Hello. Oh, it's beautiful. It's gonna look great.
What do you think of, I did a bunch of circles and lots of curves. Does that, do you think that fits with the aesthetic of your office?
Yes. The office is all white, so I do like that it'll create some more warmth and dimension.
Okay. Any final thoughts?
I appreciate you.
You heard it. She appreciates me. That's a win. Hey, I forgot to even show you. Did you notice that the top of the table rotates?
Wait, what?